This will be tutorial 2 on our JavaScript programming lessons for 2019, and today we are going to be actually talking about setting up JavaScript and even writing your first program in JavaScript. Although here is titled Program Syntax, is actually setting up JavaScript and writing your own program. So the first thing you want to know is that JavaScript relates with HTML. Actually, this lesson is actually JavaScript/HTML tutorial. So we are going to be learning the two side by side. The first thing I want you to do is just open Notepad, normal Notepad in your system, right? Now, the first thing we are going to do, we are going to copy this code. If you want, you can type it out yourself to get used to it. And then let's copy and paste in here, right? Good. Now you can see that this is a complete web page. This is the structure of HTML web page. HTML/HTML. Let me explain that all the tags are in pairs. So if you have HTML here, we also have /HTML. If you have a tag that does not have the corresponding pair, then there will be error in the program. So let's see. This is head and this is /head. This is title and this is /title. This is body and this is /body. This is script and this is /script. So this is how HTML tags actually work, right? So in the HTML page is made up of a bunch of tags, just tags everywhere, and that is why it is really easy, because what you just need to know is to learn how the tags work, or you simply learn the tags and simply place them in there and see the output. Before I continue, I'd like to remind you to subscribe to my channel. Click on the subscribe button below this video so that you get notified and updated when a new lesson comes out immediately, and you have the chance of practicing it early in time. Also, feel free to contact me. Just leave a comment for me to tell me what you feel and what challenges you have, and I'm going to respond to you personally. So click on this subscribe button, the right subscribe button below this video, to subscribe right now. That will make it easy for you to complete this lesson or this JavaScript programming class in 2.5 months. So basically, we've pasted the first JavaScript in Notepad, and this JavaScript, the first HTML program in Notepad. And now, how does JavaScript come in? Now, in a HTML page, anything between scripts and /script tag is JavaScript, right? So it's fairly easy. So we have scripts and we have /script. Whatever is inside this tag is JavaScript. Although there can be other scripts to use, but today we are talking about JavaScript. So everything in between here is JavaScript. So in this case, we have one JavaScript line of code. You can see it ends in semicolon here. So this is a complete JavaScript code, or JavaScript script, if you like to put it that way. So how do we run this application, or how do we run this JavaScript program that we have written? The first thing is that we need to save this program as a HTML page. The procedure is here, so feel free to follow the procedure. I'm kind of trying to be faster so that maybe I skip some of the lines, but I'm going to make sure you understand it. So the first thing you do, let's save this file as. So click on Save As and give it a name. Now, don't rush to save, because if you save it, it's going to save as Notepad and open as Notepad. We want to save this file as a HTML page. So what you are going to do is to add an extension .html. Again, don't save, because we are not done. So to make it HTML, because now it says test document.txt, drop down and choose all files. This is the only way that you'll be able to save this as a HTML web page. So again, I'm going to go to my desktop. I want to save it on the desktop inside a folder. So I'm going to create a new folder and call it, maybe I'll call it my JavaScript. And now I'm going to open this folder I created, and I'm going to save this file. It's now saved as a HTML page. So when this program starts running, or when you open this HTML page, whatever is in the script /script tag is going to run. So let's go to the desktop and open this this JavaScript code and try to run it. So my desktop is here, and I saved it in my JavaScript. So now you can see that it displays like HTML page. You can see Internet Explorer. So I'm going to open it and let's see what happens. And now you can see this site says your first JavaScript program. Now if we go back to Notepad, you can see this is your first JavaScript program. So this is exactly, let me just make some space. So this is exactly what we have here. So this is your first JavaScript program. It's exactly what we have in this place, right? Good. So everything is working perfectly okay. So I'm going to close this and let's see how much we can continue moving. Alright, so now this is Notepad, and using Notepad to write program is not very interesting. So it's better to use some kind of IDE to help us write this program, because an IDE will give us some help. This help may be syntax coloration or maybe some IntelliSense autocomplete to help us write this program easily. So here you have download Notepad++ from here. So if you click on this place, you can actually download Notepad++. So basically, I actually have downloaded, because if I go to my downloads, you can see that Notepad++ is downloaded here. So if I've actually downloaded and installed it. So if you've downloaded and installed, that is fine. So download and just install it. Installing it is very easy. Alright, so if I go ahead to open Notepad++, I'm going to copy this and I'm going to place it, copy and put it inside Notepad++. So Notepad++. So let's see how it is. This is Notepad++. I'm going to close this. I'm going to close this as well. Alright, so when you open Notepad++ for the first time, this is what you have. So just, I paste everything I have. Now if you paste it, it's pasted without any format. So if you now save it as, let's save it as, I'm going to also save it inside here, but this time I'm going to save it as Pro2. And I'm going to drop down here and choose hypertext markup language, which is here, right? Which is here. So if I save it now, you can notice that it now is different. So it gives us what is called syntax coloration. Syntax coloration means that the IDE understands the different programming components making up your program code. So in this case, it understands the heading, the HTML/HTML, the body/body, and it understands the strings that we've just written inside the tags, and also it understands the JavaScript code we've written here. So use Notepad++, that will be very fine. So let's see what next we can do. Let me make some room here. Now we have attributes of the script tag. Okay. Now if you have a tag and you have some kind of text explaining what this tag is all about, then that is called an attribute. So you have an attribute explaining what this tag is all about. One of them is language. So we can say language equal to, and we can say JavaScript, right? Yeah. So language is equal to JavaScript is an attribute, so you can use it. The next one is type. Type, in this case we have type is equal to text/JavaScript. Type equals, and we specify txt/JavaScript, and you can see that it gives me autocomplete. So these are the two attributes you can use in a JavaScript tag. All right. So these are written here. So it's the same. If you run this with this script, it also gives you the same result. I'm going to save everything. I'm going to go back, and I'm going to try to open with maybe I try to open this time with Google Chrome, so you can see it gives us the same result. The page says, and so on. So let's now write something a little different. We are going to use document.write, because what we used before now is called the alerts. The alert is something you use to display a pop-up or a modal pop-up to the browser. So a modal pop-up will actually prevent the browser or the user from doing every other thing until you respond to this modal pop-up by either clicking OK or cancel. So what are we saying? If we open this and it opens the browser, and now you can see we can't do anything in this browser until we respond to it. So that is called a modal pop-up. So we cannot always be using a modal pop-up. We should use document.write to actually write to the body of the page. So I'm now going to replace this alert with document.write. So I'm going to copy document.write from here instead of copying everything. For you, you can copy everything, or maybe you can just copy everything so that it illustrates what you should be doing with this lesson. So I've copied everything and pasted it the same format. I'm going to make some space here. Alright, so inside the scripts and /script tag, we have document.write. Welcome to JavaScript. Enjoy. So let's run this code and see how it is. So to run it, simply save it and open the file where you saved it. So I'm going to open it now and let's see. So it's still giving this. So I'm going to let's see. So let's see. Since we saved this in a different place, so I'm going to save file, save as. Okay, so this is pro2.html. It should be there. So let's save everything. Save. It's saved. So I'm going to. Oh, okay. It's saved in another location. So let's see. So if you go to save as, it's saved in JavaScript, but this JavaScript is in drive D. All right. So I'm going to go to my drive D. This is my drive D. I'm going to go to JavaScript and I'm going to open prop2. So let's see what happens. So now you can see it says welcome to JavaScript, enjoy. The reason it displayed this is because we use document.write. Before I end this tutorial, remember two things. One, we have the alert. Alert displays a modal pop-up. Let's look at it. So this alert displays a modal pop-up, and document.write displays something in the body of the page. Before I finally close, let me just show you how to work with workspaces in Notepad++. So to work with workspaces, a workspace is a folder that contains all your programs. So you simply say file, you simply say open folder as workspace. So this folder I want to open is in my drive D, and I call it JavaScript. So if you open a folder as a workspace, then you can see all the program you've been writing so far. In this case, we've written program 1, we've written program 2. So there is program 1, alert, program 2, we've learned to use document.write. So in the next program, we can see more interesting things. Again, I'd like to remind you to subscribe and also try to make sure you follow up by reading the tutorials. And this, we talk about comments. This you can read by yourself. Other things to note about case sensitivity, semicolons, white spaces, and so on. I'm going to stop here. I'd like to thank you for viewing. I'd like to remind you, leave a comment if you have some challenges, and also like the video and share it if it's been informative for you.